ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Between the Sharks. Today we are going to try out RM43 Total Vegetation Control. Last year I did an episode with Ortho, Brush Cutter, and something else. The Southeast is an absolute jungle this time of year. You can check out that other video on the channel if you'd like, but some of you guys recommended the RM43 product. I have all sorts of stuff overgrowing. This is wisteria. As you can see, it's climbing all of those trees. I fight this back constantly every year, and it comes over from the neighbor's property every year. And I'm not a gardener, and I don't want to do this all the time. I'm pretty convinced that if Atlanta was abandoned for a year, you'd never know it was here. Kudzu, wisteria, ivy, everything would just grow over all the structures, and you would think it was just, you know, some completely untouched place that nobody would want to live. Chemistry is not my preferred method, but mechanically removing all of this stuff, I've done it over and over again, and it just keeps coming back. So we're going to try this on a few things. We're going to try it on the fence lines. We're going to try it on the grass growing out of the driveway, which obviously this is some pretty tough grass because all my vehicles leak oil or transmission fluid or power steering fluid or gasoline or all of the above, and it's still growing. Also, we're going to take it over to the ranch where I have a ton of poison ivy. It's basically a poison ivy farm. If there was money in poison ivy, we'd have struck it rich, boys. So our method this year is going to be this 12-volt 15-gallon sprayer. These things are under $100. You can get them from just about anywhere. It does not come with a cart, but I built a little cart out of an old lawnmower that was abandoned on the other property. Check out that video if you want to see it. I was pretty proud of it. So we can tow it behind a riding lawnmower, we can push it, or it can ride right here in the truck. Now these things come with this extra long cable thing, and this just hooks to your 12-volt battery source, whether it's your car battery, which we're going to do for now because we're going to move this between a bunch of properties, or a lawnmower battery, ATV, or whatever. And eventually I may just grab a cigarette lighter and make an adapter so that I can run this EcoFlow battery pack. Went ahead and threw 5 gallons of water in it. There you go, you can hear it. Here's why I love this thing. Ready? That's just water, so don't be afraid. Can't remember how long the lead is, but it's like 15 or 20 feet. I've used every kind of garden sprayer known to man. Everything from one of these little Zep sprayers to the handheld P90s to the Hudson style, every garden sprayer with a pump. They don't last very long and they're a huge hassle. This thing is awesome. Constant pressure all the time, definitely worth the investment. So I'm attempting to get things under control. So we are doing a spot treatment. So that is it says 6 fluid ounces per gallon for these types of sprayers. So 1 quart, it's weird because I don't exactly know why, but they have it in liters and quarts and not ounces on the side. You can kind of see the liquid moving around in there. But 1 quart is 32 ounces. That should be about our ratio for 5 gallons of water that are already in here based on this 5-gallon tote. So currently this stuff is $90 a gallon, which makes it $22.50 a quart when you buy the gallon, and basically that's going to generate 20 gallons of their recommended strength spray. We'll see how far that goes. We got a lot to do. I got a bad feeling I'm gonna be buying more of this. All right, we're gonna get started right over here. What we have is wild blackberry. It grows underground like bamboo. I've got this Vivo ground cloth, but it's growing around it. It's not coming through it, but it's sticking out everywhere. All right, so we're doing 1 quart to 5 gallons. Right on the money. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at the ranch. If you don't know what the ranch is, it is this abandoned property I decided to buy, thinking it'd be a great idea to fix it up. Well, it's a lot of work. It's a whole lot. And every time I blink, there's more work to do. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But let me show you this. You ever seen anything like this? It's poison ivy, climbing trees. Your eyes do not deceive you. Those are not elephant ears or palm fronds. No, that is poison ivy, like Mesozoic size Cretaceous period pterodactyl poison ivy. Look, I'm no plantiologist, but that looks a lot like poison ivy to me. All right, let's say you're just having a bad day and you got to get to the plumbing cleanouts. Well, that's all poison ivy, poison ivy, poison ivy, poison ivy, poison ivy, poison ivy, poison ivy. Truck does not have a lot of compression apparently, and it's limping forward in first gear. So let's get this done before, you know, the truck rolls away by itself. First 5 gallons down. I mean, it's hard to say if it's covering a lot or a little. As an experiment, I got this EcoFlow battery set up. It's 50% charged right now, 58% charged. It says it can run for 49 hours like this. All right, I'm gonna find a way to mount this onto this, keep everything safe, and then this thing is ready to travel. All right, it's legit prototype phase. Is it really dumb if it works? We can make this better if this continues to work. The nice thing about these is this thing's like 10 pounds, 320 watt hours or something, and it charges in an hour. So unlike a car battery or something that weighs 30 pounds or more, once that runs out, I gotta put it on a trickle charger. It's gonna charge forever. This thing is designed to come off, go charge, plug into an AC outlet. While this cart may be very, very silly, it really does work very well. And on top of that, it cost me $0 American dollars. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Seems obvious, but you're gonna wanna work as far away from the machine as you're gonna be and then work back towards it so you're not traipsing through all this stuff and getting it all over your trousers and such. Suit up anyway. This silly cart is so much easier than moving it around in the truck. This is even easier than trailering it with the lawnmower. You gotta get on and off and all this. Just pushing it, running out of rope, pushing it again. We're through another 5 gallons. Let's see. It's asleep. We've probably been at it for about 45 minutes. Use 2% of that battery running that pump. So it does not take much energy. I would definitely consider a portable power station as opposed to a second battery to run something like that, because A, it's lightweight, charges fast, but you also have AC outlets and other stuff on there too. So I'm pretty stoked. I'm probably gonna modify the handle on that rig to be a battery tray as well, and we'll make the connections more better. So over at this joint, we've got to get this fence line. Stuff's just growing up in every nook and cranny. Privet, wisteria, blackberry, a lot of the stuff that grows around here grows underground, kind of like bamboo. Notorious for, like, you can take the top of the plant off, but it's still creeping underground and it will grow everywhere. So we have all of this to do. We should get around that new building before it gets swallowed up. All right, let's get after it. Hopefully 5 gallons will be enough, because we have still more to do back at the ranch. About 5 gallons did this entire fence line. I'm not even going to try to calculate how many feet that is. I think I applied it pretty liberally. I mean, we have everything from dandelion to privet to blackberry to poison ivy, so I want it to kill everything, but I don't know. Well, we're gonna find out what it does, right? Hopefully it'll do damage. I had this stuff cleared out obviously last year, but it's a little worse for wear. So we got to knock all of this back, and then I don't even want to think about the yard, but we can peek through this fence. I haven't cut the backyard since I've been back in town, and well, all right, we got our last 5 gallons in. We got our last quart in, so that is 90 American dollars worth of products. This rig is working swimmingly, even though it's silly. Let's go do damage. So if you look at some of the old videos of me battling this particular area, we worked real hard with our mini skid steer and clippers, and we even sprayed all this last year with the ortho and the brush cutter or whatever. If you're enjoying all this, consider shopping at the Amazon store below or buying some merch, because they both help support the channel financially, because it needs it, that's for sure. This is climbing wisteria that has come over from the neighbor's property, which there could be the lost city of Atlantis back there. We would just never know because it all looks the same. I'm guessing it's just trees, but who knows? Could be a spire. You don't have to be a plantiologist to realize what's going on. That's completely not kept, so the sunlight hitting this backyard is drawing all of that stuff this way. This has all grown up a ton. It's just tricky to get the lawn mowing devices and stuff back in here, and this is all privet, so it's impossible to kill. So I was back here the other day and I realized that this is just all poison ivy growing up in here. I do not want to run this over with the lawnmower in its current state, and obviously we got lawn mowing to do. Maybe we'll spray up in there because eventually we got to get to that building. Look how big that is. Some of you guys are itching just watching this, you know? All right, gang, that was probably 4 hours or so of work, 3 properties, and about $100 worth of stuff. If it works, it's gonna be totally worth it. If it doesn't, I'll let you know. But either way, I'm gonna see you in a week or two, and we'll look at the results, see what it killed, what it didn't kill, compare it to what it's supposed to kill, which I think is pretty much everything. All right, see you then. All right, gang, it's been 3 weeks since we used the RM43, and I'm just gonna show you the results. I think they mostly speak for themselves. And you can see right down this whole fence line, there is a pretty clear delineation. I would say it did its job, did what I needed it to do. We got to stay in this fence at some point soon, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with it. Along the front of the garage, it's pretty clear, you know, right where I used it. That's like 3 weeks in. There's tons of rain, and it doesn't look like there's much new growth, so I'd say it's certainly done its job. So here at the ranch, it did clear out this easement drainage ditch. You can see how much trash is in there. It seems to have definitely made a dent in the ivy and wisteria that was growing in this area. Definitely took out a ton of poison ivy. It seems to have taken out all the poison ivy in this area, and you can see around here it even killed the ivy that I got really well and some of the crazy stuff on this collapsed building, which we still have to get inside and figure out what's going on in there and then fix and repair and all that jazz, so stay tuned for that. But all in all, you can kind of see the line where I sprayed around the edges so that I could get in here. I would say this product absolutely did its job. I would absolutely buy it again. At $90 a gallon, it was very expensive, but it did treat, I mean, hundreds of feet of fence line and more, and did the job. So it was worth the money, and it was worth the effort to spray it. So while we're still in the growing season, which is by the instructions, it wants to be sprayed on new growth, it might actually be worth getting another gallon and just hitting some spots that we may have missed and taking it a little bit further. It has been an extraordinarily rainy year. Not sponsored by them whatsoever, bought it with my own cash money, and yeah, I'm happy with it. Between the Sharks is just a very big, broad DIY channel, so if this helps you out, consider subscribing. Basically, we're just going to be doing tons and tons and tons more projects because, well, we keep picking more up. All right, good luck on your projects out there, and we will see you next time on Between the Sharks.